know why, but yeah, I mean, they're really good. So, you know, look, but here's kind of in closing, you know, I know you probably got to get back up to Westchester. You know, we should definitely follow up. I have to take this to my team. You know, we collaborate with everybody, and you know, just I gotta get sign off before I can do that. We just to give you a heads up for our next meeting, we don't typically do convertible notes. We can get into that a little bit more later. But let's definitely follow up. In the meantime, I'd love to introduce you to our contacts over at Match.com. I know you have that eHarmony thing pending, but it may be worth just chatting with them. We would love to do that. So
I think, you know, doing things like that, leading with value up front, is definitely in your reputation. And just before we go on, just so we understand, how does your fund process actually work? Do you make your sole decisions? Is it a partnership decision?
So we have a unanimity clause. So ultimately, we each source our own deals, but everybody has to approve. We're a $100 million fund, Dopamine 2, so this is our second fund. We raised $100 million. Yeah, we had a.
Where are you in the life cycle of the fund?
So we are actually in year 2. So we're just kind of starting to deploy capital, so it's a really good time for us to do seed stage. We do seed, we also do Series A. Sometimes starting in Series A, sometimes starting in seed, and then following on and doing Series A. We're a little too small to lead in growth equity rounds in Series B, and you know, maintain our pro rata, but we really like to kind of set up those relationships with the bigger kind of growth equity funds down the road. So yeah, but you'd be working with me. I'd be the point person on this. But yeah, we have all these other guys involved too. So I just got to take it back to my partnership and see what they think.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. Really excited. You're excited.
Wonderful. Well, take care, and let's just follow up over email.
Will do.
And so that kind of ends the first meeting session, if you will, between the entrepreneur and the VC. And maybe what I could have these guys do now is, since they were trying to basically reenact, you know, what would actually occur for you guys as entrepreneurs and or investors. I'm not sure who's exactly in the audience. I presume more entrepreneurs. So maybe you guys can kind of explain some of the key terms that you guys were focusing on from your end, Dane. Just maybe a couple quick points.
So the things you want to go for these days is definitely convertible notes, a much better vehicle. You want it as high as cap as you can. You want to have no pro rata, no long-term terms.
Maybe I can interject for a minute, because without giving legal advice, that's my personal disclaimer. I want to, you know, convertible note is, you guys may know it, may not, but it's a form of debt that converts into equity at a later stage. So some of the advantages are it allows you to operate without a valuation at that point in time, and would allow the investor to convert at a Series A, in this case, at a discount. The discount they were offering here was, I think, 20%. So I think we're going to take questions at the end, but did you have a...
Yeah, just go. I have a couple just things. So just a couple things. So what Dane was doing, which is really good as an entrepreneur, just a few things to point out, it shows that he's seasoned at this, is he's asking the VC about how their diligence process works, and also where they are in the life cycle of their fund, which is really important. You know, typically funds have 9 to 10 year kind of life cycles, and you need to be very conscious of that. If you're looking to do a seed deal, you most likely don't want a fund that's in year 7 of their fund potentially leading that deal, because they're going to need to exit very, very quickly, because they're going to want to return capital to their limited partners. So that was a very good and very astute question that he asked, so definitely keep that in mind. It's kind of a nuance that a lot of entrepreneurs aren't aware of. Just in terms of what happened at the end, where I said I would introduce him to my contact at Match.com, which doesn't exist, I don't know anyone there, but that's really important for a number of different reasons. One, it helps me validate the investment. If my contact from Match.com, after speaking to him, says this is really awesome, we're going to do a partnership with them, that makes me way more likely to want to do the deal. If my contact says this is terrible, I'm probably not going to do the deal. It also gets his company on the radar of Match.com. Potentially, in the real world, Match.com could be an acquirer for that company down the road. So it's kind of helping everybody. If it was a more traditional place, so it's kind of helping everybody out. So a lot of VCs will do that preemptively to get that validation, but also for the other reason.
So in between two meetings, you definitely need to hammer him as much as you can. So send notes saying your updates and things. Try to find a new hire that's really impressive. You want to try to bake the deal while you go. It's a moving, not a picture. Other than that, just get back in there and start hiring.
And what Dane's saying is that VCs kind of love the progress, even along during this initial meeting. So you'll see that even as you go on from a seed investment to a Series A to a Series B, what they're looking for is metrics that you're going to hear. They're looking for actual traction. So even in the midst, Dane has this secret that he's now shared with all of you, where he likes to actually, in the context of the deal, hold back some critical information until the next meeting, so he can show them within the context of a short span how much traction, in fact, his company has.
Yeah, don't use all your gunpowder in the first meeting.
So with that, I think we'll move on to the next one, where Zach has gone back to his partners and he's going to come back with an aggressive term sheet.
Great to see that. Great to see you again. Thanks so much for coming in.
Just first off, I have to say that match guy was fantastic.
Oh, wow,
he was
so
just
glad.
out of this world. I think we actually could make a deal, maybe even a faster cycle leading harmony.
Oh my God.
Higher up in our contact there.
That's
And I don't know if
amazing.
you saw, we sent you that note where we hired that new guy from Stanford.
Incredible.
He's just unbelievable. He actually has his own patents he's bringing to the portfolio.
Wow.
He's really rich out what we're doing.
Yeah, that's
So it's been a nuts week, and we're thrilled to come back here. I'm so excited you're still into this stuff.
yeah. Well, we're more than into it. I mean, forget about it. How important is the IP to this concept? Now that you bring that up.
Oh, I think IP is definitely a long-term asset from a defensibility standpoint.
Yeah.
So we want to lock it up as much as we can.
Great. Well, it's great that guy. So he's willing to kind of just roll up his IP into the entity.
That would be the way it looks, especially
Wow.
if it was a deal where there's some money to pay him.
Yeah.
Right? That helps.
Sounds good. So you guys are just continue to knock it out of the park with these metrics and traction. Every time I get a note from you, it kind of makes me smile. I took it to my partners. We've never done a convertible note before at seed stage. I know it's crazy since like 90% of the financings are. We've somehow managed to not do one. We really believe that a straight preferred equity financing aligns our interests with yours. We see this as a partnership. We want to be in it with you for the long haul. We see this as a potential multi-billion-dollar business, a thunder lizard, and we really want to work with you, for the next 7 to 10 years to make that happen. So I've drawn up a term sheet, and I just want to kind of go over it with you and see. So we've set the pre-money at $4 million, raising the $1 million that you asked for. The term sheet calls for participating preferred stock, and
One time, two time?
we would like to. We have in the term sheet currently a 3x liquidation pref.
Okay.
Yeah, again, we don't believe this to be a $20 million and run exit. We want this to be a multi-billion-dollar company where that 3x is just not going to matter at all.
In that scenario, yes.
Yeah. There are a couple other things that we've kind of inserted as well into the term sheet. We think your team is super strong. I mean, you have these scientists that they don't even go outside ever. They're just constantly
Don't ask them to either.
working on products, and we value that. I mean, that's super important to us. But we're a little bit nervous on, you're kind of the only biz dev person there, and your girlfriend, and like, what if you guys break up? Like, super awkward. So, we would like to ideally create a 25% options pool. Yeah, in connection with this convertible, with this preferred equity
In addition to
offer.
the people who are already in the cap table?
Oh yeah, that's additional. Yeah, so that's a post-money options pool of
Is it
25%.
post-financing or is it pre-financing?
It's post-financing, yeah, 25%. So it's not terrible, but I
You suffer with us. That's
yeah. So and then what else? Let me just think about. There's some other things that we can't really put in a term sheet, but we as a kind of gesture to us, we'd really like to see from you. So one of those things. So anyway, I don't want to get into it personally, but I have a nephew who just graduated from one of the top 3 schools in the country. Yeah, one of the top 3 online universities in the country. And he's been working in retail for the past year at McDonald's. And he likes it there, granted, but he doesn't see a huge amount of growth. The guy who's on fries has been there a long time, and he doesn't really see much upward mobility. So I really like it, since you have this big options pool to give away, I'd really appreciate if you could make him the head of business development, so he would be the one kind of interacting with those contacts you have at Match and eHarmony and some of those other folks. And then the other thing, look, Metro North is fine, but I don't love coming up to Westchester. We like to be intimate with our portfolio companies. We're going to need your entire team to move into Manhattan, be part of that whole Silicon Alley scene that's so ebullient right now. I mean, we really appreciate that kind of gesture. Would be super helpful. So, anyway, look, I mean, this is a term sheet. Obviously, this is an ongoing negotiation. We have counsel. You probably have counsel. You probably have your own thoughts and your partnership want to talk it over and stuff like that. I think we should just have a dialogue about it.
I think that first off, it's really great that you're actually interested enough to put a term sheet in front of us.
Yeah,
we're really thrilled that,
no
there is a potential here. I think that you've made it really, really hard for us. There's some obvious terms in there that are going to be a real struggle.
Wow.
Not that we're not excited about finding a partnership. It's just that, my family's already all there. We're already anchored. We know it's going to be hard. The Fry guy, it's going to be really tough to get incorporated correctly in the company.
Yeah.
I think we would really still like to be on a convertible note, not on a preferred structure, just because there's less flexibility. And I think what we need to do is try to find parity in our objectives here. Like if these things are really critical, it might be ways we can get them done. You might be able to share your office down here and translocate every now and then. You might be able to give the Fry guy a good entry level learning as he grows up and being those persons.
That'd be nice. Yeah, he needs to learn.
And he can have some of your 25% shares as well. I think that might be, or at least break that up a little bit. Might be a little more fair. I like the fact that we're sort of sitting on the same valuation, but I think that the multiple on the preferred is going to be really rough.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, even like I go to the scientists and you're bringing a patent, right? That's worth millions, and now if we exit, they have to get a $7-8 million valuation just to even get out his value.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But I mean, just think about the other side of that coin. We're going to take $750K of this. We're going to leave
the whole thing.
No, we're going to syndicate it. We're going to bring some of the best, seed stage guys that we know. We're going to get contacts in Silicon Valley, up in Boston, San Francisco. We're going to really syndicate it with super strategic value add. I mean, again, the value, can't discount how much that's adding, especially with the syndicate of this caliber that we're going to put together. So anyway, look, take it back to your team. This is an ongoing thing. We're not going anywhere. We're still here in